This is Amy Bacon with Spirit Pathways, and I'm here with this week's reading. This is for today, Monday, September 30th, through this coming Sunday, October 6th, 2019. We still have new beginnings energy this week, and we've got Rosh Hashanah to confirm the new year, along with last Monday's equinox and Saturday's new moon. All of this brings us fresh horizons to work with. Depending upon where you live, we're also transitioning from the hotter temperatures to fall's cooler breezes. And we're sending out blessings to Mother Earth for ease and love as she raises to a higher vibration to help cope with trauma in her environment. We are all part of this shift to a higher vibrational set point that's going to carry us forward to a new time in our evolution. And we begin with ourselves and our personal lives. Quality of life is how we define our personal experience. And I know that we all have temporary setbacks at times from things that grab our attention or something that has upset us. The key is not to give our power away to something we would call a loss. We are not supposed to be victims of anything. And anytime you may feel a bit victimish, try and re-examine things to understand a lesson or potential for growth in the story. Once we can shift our attention to a more empowering perspective, we accomplish the life lesson and begin again from a fresh, new perspective. Shift things by changing the story that you're telling. Shift the thoughts that you're focusing upon. Shift your being with your breath. By getting up and out of yourself, give yourself a new environment. Get off the couch and out of the house, and if people around you are keeping you in a negative or down place, change who you have been spending time with. And also, please change the habit of hashing out what you feel is happening and move on to more productive new conversations of the things that you wish to enjoy and the positive things you wish to create in your future that starts right now in this moment. And life contains big events that change us forever. We have losses of those we love or experiences that we wish would continue. It's all part of the ebb and flow of life, like the tides, and things are always going to improve and get better. Life is change. Each moment is temporary. So that change is going to bring us better experiences, and it's going to add to creating our quality of life. And the fastest way to get to the high points is to have a strong inner foundation that provides resilience. If we know at our core that all is well, then we have the tools to create the thoughts that will maneuver our emotions to a strong and loving place. Our thoughts create the energy, and we react to what we perceive is going on. And our thoughts set that tone. So it's very important to pay attention to your mind speak and to the story that you've been telling and to the energetic environment that you're in. You have control over all of those things to make positive change. And you're not doing this alone. You are surrounded by divine guidance and assistance. You can get answers and directions with the reading. I tune into your energy. I call in your personal council of guides, and we can address anything you'd like to know more about. Gain understanding for, get clarity, remove blockages, heal loss, gain perspective, and reestablish your strong core. You have support and loving guidance to really establish your personal quality of life. It doesn't have to evade you. It's not elusive. It's there. It's on your blueprint. It's available to you. So start today with your reading. I have openings all week, so you're not going to have to wait a long time to get a reading. All the information, as you know, is on my website, spiritpathways.net. And I can't wait to connect with you. This week we have amethyst. Healing, protective, balancing amethyst. All right. Let's get our cards for the energy of this week. 9 cards. I'm going to pull these. That one. I'm going to lay them out. My pug muffin is being noisy in the background. She's been shuffling around. I hear her. She's right under my feet, snoring, beginning her weekly reading snore. All right, I love it. I'm going to lay these out, and then I'm going to go over each one to give you a reading for the energy of this week. Look at all these swords. Nice. All right, Queen of Cups in the middle. We're starting with the Hierophant, your spiritual tribe, your spiritual learning, your spiritual mentors, lessons, teaching, reading, exposing yourself to spiritual values, spiritual knowledge, spiritual wisdom. This is how you move forward in the best and most authentic way. This is the absolute higher vibration of you moving forward to your greatest happiness. Divinely orchestrated, divinely led. We are human, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And sometimes we get lost in that humanness. So of course they're going to start with this card. It's the perfect card for them, the guide saying there's no such thing as a victim. When you understand that you are a divine child of God, everything's playing out exactly as it should be. You don't lose sight of that. You don't lose that foundation that's set in stone for you, that you are divine. You are whole and perfect and complete. And so in this 3D human experience, any connection that you could make to realizing your divinity, to realizing you're not alone, to realizing that that part of you that's the spiritual being is still supporting you and still guiding you and still helping you. So the Hierophant leads us off with this spiritual alignment, spiritual awareness. And if you don't feel aware of it in your life, it's time to incorporate some of that. And if you're listening to this video, then you are. It's your attraction to it is that alignment for you. All right, now the Two of Pentacles. This is, I worry a bit about money, and they were talking about ebbs and flows. Here's your tide going up and down. Whoop. Sometimes we're on the top, sometimes we sort of swoop down on the bottom, but it always comes up again. And it's all right. It's the flow of life. This green infinity symbol holds it all together. These pentacles are not going to just be fumbled and bounce and roll away. They're held by divine connection. So what? Two perfect cards. This is your spiritual world. This is your material world. So if you've been worrying about your material world or your health, pentacles are also health, the ups and downs of those things in your life, realize it's going to be okay. It's going to come back into balance. It's held by divine goodness. So don't get lost in the thought of feeling you're going to lose anything. And so that's the Two of Pentacles. Now we've got another two, the Two of Cups. This is partnerships. This is relationships. This is exchange within those relationships. It's love and it's cooperation. So allowing that, this is perfect balance. You've got your material world here, and then the Two of Cups is your emotional world. So bringing things to you, that emotional balance, allow things you don't expect, chance encounters that are very beneficial for you. Emotional balance as well. Love that. Now we've got the numbers are flowing this week. The Hierophant is 5. So right beneath him is the 5 of Wands. That's practice. This is just getting used to things. It's trying things out. It's practicing different ideas and practicing different philosophies and ways, and maybe practicing some of this spiritual awakening that you're having through the Hierophant. So keep practicing, because as you practice, you improve and you get better. And the Wands are the things that inspire you. So you're only going to read a book or have some spiritual learning. You're only going to take the things that resonate with you, and you're going to leave the rest. So this is also pay attention to what inspires you. And then often I pay attention to the card in the center of a reading. This week it is the very creative and emotional Queen of Cups. And I say emotional only in the most positive of ways, because she's emotional solutions. And you see in the other cup cards that the cups are plain. But look how ornate her cup is and how focused she is on it. She created that cup. That's her creativity. That ornateness, she's so proud of it, and it's so uniquely from her. She wanted that. And then we've got these little cherubs, they're little like mermaid cherubs on her throne. This one's holding a fish. That fish stands for creativity. And the cherubs are love and emotional balance. So the Queen this week is offering you solutions of an emotional manner, of love, of creativity in your life to help you increase your quality of life. Now the Page of Wands, similar to this, the wands here, the 5 of Wands on the other side of the Queen. They're both giving to the Queen. So the experience here that you're gaining, and then the Page is the messenger saying, yeah, keep going with that practice. Keep going with trying these things that inspire you. She was focused on her cup. Look at how he's focused on the little sprout on his wand. That sprout represents the things that you want to grow, the things that you want to practice with and experience and try out. And that's where vitality of life comes from, is going ahead and taking action on the things that we want to begin. Pages are beginnings. They're the messenger to go ahead and begin. Wands are fire, they're action. What do you want to sprout in your life? What do you want to enjoy? And then this bottom row, these next 2 cards, they're about specifically emotionally how you're addressing your life. We're starting with the 10 of Swords. This is just sort of the overkill of too much analyzing, too much overthinking. Don't get lost in your thoughts. Don't, they were saying in the beginning, and I love how the cards so perfectly match the message at the beginning, the guides that flow that message for you for the energy of this week. And they're saying your thoughts create what happens in your life. So don't give those thoughts away. Don't get too lost in being the victim and analyzing and telling everybody the story of what went wrong or what you don't like, because that's not going to get you anywhere. The background of this card is that the sun is rising. It's dawn. Everything's calm and the sun is rising. And that's your energy forward. It's not in telling these stories and hashing out these ideas or continuing trying to make a situation or a circumstance or a person work that's not right for you. you just have to move on from this. You can't get lost in this because you'll just stay stuck in this. And nothing happens in this energy. Nothing productive. And then we've got the Eight of Swords. All those swords, look at them all. These are you overthinking and the overkill of analysis. And then these swords represent self-imposed limitations. The things that you've been describing that are holding you back. And she's wrapped up in what seems to be toilet paper. So breaking free of all this is effortless. Just start wiggling. Just start. The blindfold will fall off. The toilet paper binding will fall off. She's standing in mucky mud, which means these are not sticking in anything solid. They're easily dispensed with. So each and every idea that you have that's not productive, each thing that you're telling that's negative or self-defeating, or anything you want to say, I can't do this before, any can't thing. Anything that can't would be involved with, that's these, and they don't serve you. It's not true. That can't statement is not true. Your guides can explain to you how that can be turned around to something extremely positive in your life, extremely enriching, to tangibly give you the quality of life you want to experience on every level, materially and emotionally. So yes, don't get stuck in your self-imposed limitations. Don't get stuck in overanalyzing and overthinking things. And then the outcome, in the center, we had the Queen of Cups. And here's her king. Our last card. The King of Cups. She's emotional solutions and taking action on your creativity. He is the outcomes. He's wearing the fish around his neck. There's the fish jumping in the ocean. All the choppy waves. That's the ebb and flow. It's the ups and downs. But, you know, the ship is still sailing. Everything is going to be fine. The King of Cups gives you the emotional outcomes that you desire. But they come from removing these two things. Very, very amazing cards this week for a perfect message to help you move forward. And if you're feeling stuck in any of this energy or not sure how it applies specifically to you, have a reading with me. I will call in your council of guides. I guarantee you every living person has their own council of guides. And we connect with them and we look at your lifetime blueprint and give you the answers you need. Clear any blockages. Give you the understanding that you need for your highest quality of life. So all that information to get your reading right now is on my website, spiritpathways.net. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.